Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fenworks North Dakota stream. As you can see, I look a little bit different today. Not too different, just a little, But happy to be here. I'm joined by the chef, as always, for Monday, North Dakota. How are you doing today, chef?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm ready to hop into this final week of Minecraft. Should be a good one.
Yeah, man, it should be a good one indeed. We have two squads, South Prairie and Mandan. Unfortunately, they were a little early on the jump, so they played out game one without us being able to spectate. But good news is we are here now, and we will be jumping into game number two in just a moment's notice. South Prairie able to take game number one. And, Chef, you and I were talking for a little bit before this one got going today. This is a crucial game. Not only is it the final week of the season, right, but both squads at 4-3. A win here almost certifies and solidifies a spot in the state tourney, and a loss you might find yourself just shy outside of the marker. So big time game here today.
Yeah, for sure. At that 4-3 record, you could really a loss would put you down kind of in the mix of things, and then you'd really just have to watch the dominoes fall to see if you can qualify for that state tournament. And that's not where you don't want to be on just a spectating side, hoping that the dominoes fall correctly for you. So they really want to get this win, secure their spot, so then don't have to rely on anyone else.
Absolutely. And yeah, production team, what do we got for map two? I believe Aqueducts was played for the first map. Say it one more time. Oh, Yoshi's Island. All right, sweet. So we just saw some Yoshi get played at the state tournament. A very big map in terms of Bed Wars, right? Like there's a lot. The middle island is huge on Yoshi's, right? So, it usually takes a lot to register when we are going across the map and spectating, right? So obviously one of the bigger maps that we offer, and South Prairie getting the better of game number one, best of three action. So we'll see what's going down once we load on into Yoshi's. But how are you feeling otherwise about today? Final week of the
Yeah,
season.
final week. I'm excited. Like I said, it's gonna be interesting. Like obviously, all these teams, you really just need to be on your A game after all these weeks. It's just your last opportunity to really get into the state tournament, like we saw with the MNVL state tournament. It's a great time. So
Oh yeah,
so these
the best
teams are gonna
time.
be, yeah, definitely. These teams are gonna be really wanting to get their spot qualified. And Mandan going down 1-0, I'm sure they've got a game plan coming into map two, but obviously coming back from that 1-0 deficit isn't going to be the easiest feat.
You're right. Down 1-0, usually tough. I don't know how many. I mean, the amount of Minecraft games I've casted is limited, I'd say. But over the course of the Minecraft games that I have casted, it feels like more often than not, we kind of end up with 2-0s. So I'm not saying that Mandan are guaranteed going to drop this next map here, but if history is to repeat itself as it so oftenly does, South Prairie in a very good position to find this next map and to close out their season in a 5-3 record. So we'll have to see. I got to give a quick shout out to some of these South Prairie players, though. I coach some of them on Valorant, so big shout out to Fiesta and Shrekman. You guys are goated. No bias
Yeah,
from me, though. I want
yeah,
Mandan to succeed as well.
definitely
I
not.
only
No.
coach on the Val server, so Minecraft is fair play.
hmm Yeah, and I want to mention that like for map one, we did see Aqueduct with that South Prairie taking that map, and now going on to Yoshi's Island, the contrast between those maps, I would say, is fairly big compared to all these Minecraft maps that we do see. So maybe Mandan will have it'll be kind of a switch up from map one. So we could see it go a little bit a different way than South Prairie's way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Aqueducts is compared to every other map in the map pool, there's nothing really like it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, uh, what's the other one called? Oh, dude, Archipelago.
Archipelago. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, sweet. We said it same time, dude. That's how you know we're dialed
Yeah.
in. We are
Indeed.
dialed in, chef. Let's go. Okay, but back to Yoshi's. So, I actually found this out at the state tournament, so I'll let you know. Dude, all the yellow blocks are honey and they're
Yeah.
sticky. So
Yeah.
you get slowed, you can barely jump.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like the interesting thing that I guess I'm just dumb and I found it out late, but that makes sense why you always see the random wool blocks and everybody kind of trying to jump across and the floor is lava essentially, right? You kind of get stuck and you got to get tracked down. So avoid the honey at all costs.
Yeah, for sure. And that honey, obviously, I don't know how much it slows you down, but it's definitely fairly significant to where it's almost impossible. You really don't want to try and play on top of the honey. You definitely want to get those wool blocks down and kind of avoid that slow effect that it gives you.
Absolutely. We've got the side of South Prairie here on the red. We've got the side of Mandan on the blue.
Indeed. We should be getting into the game any moment here. We're just getting all loaded up, and then I'd like to see how they kind of traverse. And there we go, we got the game going here. I'd like to see how they traverse the honey. Like I said, you want to kind of jump on top of it. You don't want to try and traverse through it, but with that PvP on top of the honey, it's going to be very difficult to try and do both. So if we see some kind of battles on top of the honey, I'm interested to see how they kind of navigate that.
Yeah, very much so. You can see all those honey blocks, kind of like miniature minefields.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like both teams kind of branching out to these diamond generators. Not really worried about going to the center just yet. Just trying to get those resources. We do see one player in the mid here.
Yep, Fiesta knows how to party. Okay, that was so cringe. Oh man, you gotta go for it sometimes though.
Definitely. We saw Fiesta maybe last week, maybe the week before, I can't quite remember, on stream, and he was making some interesting plays, some that I've never seen before. So
okay,
on Aqueducts, he was
trailblazer.
Yeah, he was perched up on one of the waterfalls and just kind of sneaking around, and I would say they did end up losing that match, I believe, but
Contestant coming here.
Yeah.
Guvino and Ghost Wolf. Guvino has the HP advantage. Comes out on top.
And those battles in the middle of the map, I mean, at the beginning of the game, it's not too crucial, but it just allows you to kind of build that advantage build, get more space for your team, and then you have control of the resources in the middle, and you can just kind of slowly build that advantage for going into the later stages.
For sure. Yeah, it may not seem like much now, but just winning that one head-to-head allows a couple extra emeralds to be gathered and whatnot. So we see two different kind of bed defense setups. One squad going for the wood blocks all the way around. The other squad working with some glass. Right, we know that is highly effective at countering TNT. Fiesta gets taken down by Ghost Wolf.
Yeah,
couple players on red squad looking aggressive here, Chef.
Oh wow, and what just happened there?
He
did something, but
yeah, that reminded me of like a TNT jump, but I didn't see any TNT get dropped. So 2v1 here, dude. We're actually in sync.
And Fiesta and Shrekman taking out players on the side of Mandan.
Fiesta just ran across. He's going straight for the base. Falling back to get some support.
Some great trades on the side of South Prairie. I think they just took out 3 players and another one falls into the void.
That's it. Oh, we're breaking the bridge now. You shall not pass.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and get some height up here. Don't see any of those TNT sparkles on the side of Shrekman or Fiesta. So I'm interested to see maybe they have a plan, or maybe they're just going to try and just
jump potion
and just eliminate these players. But
yeah, just sending it.
Fiesta holding them off while
Shrekman breaking in.
He just
gets a sighting of the bed and he deep fries there, Chef. Big time play come out from Shrekman. Somehow still standing on his feet, will finally fall, but mission accomplished. Fiesta and Shrekman get on in there, they deep fry the bed, and just like that, Mandan on their final 4 lives of this one. And this is series point favoring South Prairie.
Yeah, that was just what they needed on the side of South Prairie. We saw Fiesta just hold them off, and then Shrekman, I believe, was able to. He didn't even have an axe. He was just chopping that wood with the sword. And I didn't think he was going to be able to have enough time to get through there. But Shrekman and Fiesta just stalling enough time and getting through, getting that bed. And that's exactly what they're looking for there.
Not too shabby. South Prairie in a prime position to close this thing out in a 2-0 fashion. We have all four of our Mandan players. Okay, three of our four Mandan players. I thought there was a fourth one back there, but my mistake. One person's on the move.
Yeah, and I mean, down 1-0, down a bed. It's a tough spot, but at least they did keep all their lives. We've got four of those Mandan players still alive. So just play. You do have that support from your teammates, so you can just play a little bit safer and just hopefully you can kind of pick your fights, pick your battles when you need to. And obviously you only got the one life left, so just got to be careful with your battles and then get resources when you can. Really,
You're absolutely right. We see some Red Squad players, though, on the hunt. They know exactly what this is case of. Final lives in play here for Mandan Chef. Not a pretty sight. Ender Pearl in from Shrekman. On fire is Goobert. Not looking long for this world. Was this a fire enchant on their swords? How are they lighting them on fire like that?
I think it must be.
It has to be, right?
Wow.
Final kills getting handed out. You're absolutely right. It's a scrum.
And Fiesta does try to retreat after that, but he does get taken out. But I mean,
they got
just like
two.
You saw in that first attack, obviously, you do see him the South Prairie players getting eliminated towards the end, but the two final kills coming through, it's just what they wanted. It's what they're going for. Build your advantage further.
You're right. They just cut the army in half, right? So now you kind of have that man advantage guaranteed. A couple ghosties flying around the map, trying to help them out, tell them what's clear, what not. But as you can see, all four of the South Prairie players still standing. The Royals Minecraft, I guess. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
One thing's for certain. This South Prairie squad is bloodthirsty.
Yeah, for
Shrekman has been leading the charge.
Yeah, Shrekman and Fiesta especially. I've noticed that as well. And
those are the Val players, dude. They got that cross-game synergy.
Got that mentality, you know.
Oh, look at Shrekman. Look at the movement. Come on. Drop in blocks as he goes.
And on the side of South Prairie, obviously, we do have them on attack here, but it looks like, as we saw earlier, they may have kind of forgot about the bed defense. They do have that kind of one layer of end stone and half a layer of glass, so...
Oh, jeez. Fireball to start this engagement off here, Chef. Jumping right into it. It's a 3-on-2. Numbers favoring South Prairie. Blue players dropping lower and lower on HP. One of them still pretty healthy, but Ghost Wolf now left in a 1vx. 24 points of health, but now 3 swords on top of him. It's getting ugly, and it's South Prairie to eliminate Mandan in a 2-0 fashion. For our viewers, it's a 1-0, but it counts as 2 since we missed game number 1.
You see Yoshi waving bye.
Oh, bye, Yoshi.
But so
not
South
too shabby.
Prairie, yeah, that was a great match from South Prairie. Believe I don't want to say anything wrong, but surely South Prairie's got to qualify for state at that point. But
that sounds right to me.
Yeah, but Mandan, it's going to be kind of not certain, so they'll have to wait for the final seeding to come out, but that was impressive from South Prairie. I think they did well.
I'd agree. You know, we didn't see the game didn't get too far into it before we saw that aggressive push to push forward and take out that opposing bed. They do it nicely. I mean, whenever you're in the early stages, right, bed's going to be at its weakest defense level. Shrekman and Fiesta taking advantage of that. Fiesta kind of being the decoy, jumping up, looking for the fights, while Shrekman had a one-track mind focused on deep frying the bed, got it taken care of. And with that, I mean, I think that closes out Minecraft for our North Dakota Fenworks regular season. I believe we only had the one match on the schedule. But, I mean, how are you feeling after witnessing kind of regular season play of Minecraft?
I think it was a good regular season. I think towards the end especially, we saw teams kind of changing up the strategy and, definitely the glass coming through to really counteract that TNT. For the first maybe 2-3 weeks at least, it it was just TNT, TNT, TNT. So I'm happy to see teams kind of adapt to that, and I'm sure going into the state tournament, it'll be even more adaptation from these teams. So I'm excited to see that, especially.
You're absolutely right. Meta constantly shifting over the course of a season, teams finding new adaptations, new ways to work around other opposing squad strategies. And right there, we just saw South Prairie claim the final game of regular season, improving their record to 5-3. Meanwhile, Mandan dropping back to 4-4. So not too bad, but we'll have to see based on the standings where these squads stand. But like you said, the one and only game for Minecraft tonight, folks. We have at least one game of Smash on the card, so we are probably going to cut away for a little break and get that one sorted out before we hop back into the Smash Bros server. So appreciate all you guys joining us, and we'll catch you after the break.
Where are you going? Or maybe a better question is, how far do you want to go? And how fast do you want to get there? Now we're getting somewhere. So let's go. Let's go faster. Let's go further. Let's go beyond.
Why be a nurse when you can be a nurse, potter, power lifter, foodie, comedian, dog advocate? Here, you'll grow in a place where your identities and interests are valued, your passions prioritized. As a Gusty, you'll write your own story, make connections, and learn to live with purpose. On purpose. Gustavus Adolphus College. Gusties get more out of college.
Coming in and actually seeing all the computers filled with kids, and they have on their jerseys and they got their coaches next to them, and I see direct parallels over to football.
There's just not a lot of knowledge about gamers out there. People just don't know what they don't know.
They have to develop teamwork like any other physical game does. You don't have the teamwork, you don't win.
You take a kid who never had confidence before and you give them confidence, and you can see what they can do with their lives.
What does it mean to be a leader? At the University of North Dakota, we're here to find out.
It's taking my first solo flight.
Finding new ways to learn.
Rolling up your sleeves.
The world deserves leaders like you, leaders ready to take the next step and make a difference, because we lead our own way.
Charging into your future as a Lancer is about meaningful relationships, learning at the crossroads of history and innovation, championing one another's success, and empowering every student to achieve their dreams. We are a community that knows one another by name, offers the quality education needed to get the most out of life, and the friendships that support us throughout the journey. We hold tight to a legacy of pioneering, knowing that by honoring our values, we can charge into our futures together and become the purpose-minded people that change the world. Becoming a Lancer is about more than academics. It's about discovering your passion and feeling at home.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is still I, the one and only Skeptor, aka Chamber Guy, and it's my man, the Chef. We are here now to do a little bit of a game that, we might not be experts in, but I'll tell you what, we're going to have a fun time. We've got Yeetinator and Decoat going up head-to-head in Super Smash Ultimate. Yeetinator, one of your fellow classmates, you said, Chef, sitting at 7-0 on pace for an undefeated regular season run, which would truly be spectacular. His counterpart, Decoat, no slouch in terms of record as well, 5-2. So, two of the better players, without a doubt, right? I mean, those are impressive records.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely both of them towards the top of the standings. Obviously, number one at that undefeated record. So, should be a great match. I'm excited to see if we can maybe get a closer one. I know talking to Yeetinator a little bit, he's got some pretty decisive victories over a couple different players, but has had some close ones as well. So I'm sure this will be a good match.
I'd agree. Yeetinator. I mean, I'm excited to see what both of our players will be picking once we get into the arena.
Yeah,
should be fun.
We've seen Deco on the stream a few times, I believe. I know he's ran. It was Robin, Ness, and Joker a couple times. I think we've seen just some of the different characters he's played. So interested to see which one he'll go with against maybe even one that we haven't seen if he wants to go for like different strategy, throw off his opponent. Obviously, may want to come in with a surprise against an undefeated opponent to maybe build that
Not a
advantage
bad,
for yourself.
yeah, not a bad idea at all. I mean, and some of the players that are up, like these upper kind of, I don't know how to say it. I was going to say upper bracket, but that's not true because we're not in like a tournament stage right now. But upper standings level players usually have a pretty good grasp of the game, and I'd say have at least a couple characters that they can kind of fall back on if things aren't going good, right? Like usually you see newer players sticking to one character, getting really good at that character, and they'll play it into any matchup no matter what. But at the end of the day, having that kind of champion pool, right, is basically what it is. Being able to pick multiple different characters can definitely come through and help you out in the long run. So we'll have to see what these players are bringing out. It looks like a Mii sword fighter taking on Ness. So, or it's just a Mii brawler, actually. All right. It's hard when you just see the little Wii character face. You don't know for sure yet, but this guy's going to be punching and kicking a lot. Yeetnator on the Mii brawler. And it's Deco on the Ness. So Ness, from what my knowledge, has a decent amount of abilities that he can throw from a distance, right? You kind of keep people out of your, like being up close on top of you. Has a few moves like the yo-yo, the baseball bat for players that get up close and personal. But I feel like the Mii brawler, into the Ness definitely is favoring the Mii brawler. If he can close that distance, avoid those PK fires that this Ness is trying to throw out. Good combination from Yeetnator, following it up nicely. And I mean, look at Ness is one of the squishier characters in the game here. You can see how quickly his HP bar kind of starts to get cranked up to the high percentages.
Yeah, we saw a quick stock loss there.
Yep.
From Decode, and Yeetnator already
not taking too much damage.
Yeah, really 36% this far into the match.
Oh, poor Ness goes for the recovery. Can't quite get back to the ledge. Now down to the final stock of this first match here. Yeetnator in a prime position to claim game one and continue that undefeated mark.
Yeah, we do see this will be a best of 5, so looking to take this first map, go up 1-0. And he does lose a life there, Yeetnator.
Yeah. Yeetnator going to claim that first game of this series.
Yeah,
and I mean, dirty work on the Mii brawler, bro. Right,
yeah,
like
both players falling down there.
Yeah. I don't even know what else needs to be said. Yeetnator is a tough cookie.
Mm-hmm. That was a great play from Yeetnator there. We saw kind of just controlling it throughout, and then towards the end there, both players falling off the map, and does lose one stock, but was able to take that fairly comfortably, I would say.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Yeetnator got up to like 36%, I think, and then didn't get hit again for quite some time. So definitely feeling confident coming into this game. I mean, you're on pace for an undefeated season, right? So like at this point, yeah, dude, you're brimming with confidence. I believe I mean, I'm going to take a guess and say it was Decode that was just getting that final coaching session right before this matchup started, trying to get any bit of info that they could before taking on Yeetnator. I mean, when you're taking on a player that is undefeated, you're going to have to think outside the box, right? You're going to have to switch things up, kind of whether you like it or not, because this guy is showing that he is dialed in, comfortable on his character. And I mean, the Mii brawler just spoke for itself.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously very comfortable in that matchup. And I'm sure, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm sure we'll see Yeetnator maybe running that character back. So
I'd say you're correct in assuming that one. No, yeah, if I had to put money on it there, Mr. Chef, I think I would put some money on Yeetnator locking in the Mii brawler. You know, we see sometimes like characters maybe getting a little overconfident. No, we are in this one. Let's go. Back into it. Same characters for both of our contestants. Decode sticking with the Ness. Going to try to have to keep range more, right? Try to find a way to land these PK fires. Keep this Mii brawler from being on top of your head, right? Because that's where, I mean, brawler is in the name, right? He's got to be up close and personal if this damage is going to come through. Already doing a lot better for himself in this matchup number 2 here for D-Coat. Higher percentage
start from
on the
D-Coat.
brawler. Ooh, good contest going up
Wow.
and keeping him from getting back to ledge. Nice first stock claimed by D-Coat. Yeetnator now surely feeling like, all right, he warmed up. Listen, we're going to have ourselves a game. Going to take that stock from D-Coat now. Both players at 2 apiece. But already things rolling much better for D-Coat.
Yeah, definitely a closer matchup so far, but we do see kind of the tides turning a little bit here with D-Coat racking up those connections.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kicking him straight in the face, buddy. You're not getting back onto this platform without taking some extra pieces. Ooh, nice little shock blast coming up top. Catching him before recovery was made. PK fire. Okay, Ness is one of the only characters I actually know, like, most of his abilities. Most, all right? I had a buddy who used to go to local tournaments in St. Paul, and I would go and watch him every week. And he would get first rounded almost every week, and he played Ness. But yeah, I mean, he tried hard. He wasn't like terrible. He just played against pretty good players. And I mean, this is back before COVID, so like there's like 80 to 100 people just showing up to the weeklies. So pretty epic. Yeah, dude, the good old days.
Yeah, definitely good competition at those tournaments for sure.
For sure. Yeetnator, high percentage here on his second stock, has that 1 stock advantage over D-Coat right now. So D-Coat got to do himself the favor of equalizing here, but Yeetnator starting to apply some pressure now.
Yeah, this is big. It's kind of looking like pretty crucial here for D-Coat, kind of needing to take advantage of this situation to equalize the series, but it's gonna be tough. We see Yeetnator doing well in all facets right now.
A good step back from the Nest, trying to get Yeetnator up to 169 percentage now. Insanity that he didn't end up falling on that last toss. Some headbutts for good measure. Yeetnator going out, trying to take him down, not going to get back to the stage, so decides to dive onto the pits of Davy Jones' locker. And now we have Ness taking a cannonball to the face. Nice DI. Going to try to recover here, but such high HP. Not going to bode well for a front kick to the face. That will send D-Coat packing. Yeetnator now up 2-0 in this one and 1 game away from completing the undefeated regular season, Chef. This is your classmate here. You got to be feeling...
I'm happy for him for sure. I mean, obviously, that 7-0 record, you know he's confident coming to this one. He's a great player, as we're seeing here, so... I won't, no bias, but I'm excited for him to see if he can complete this season. But as we saw, D-Coat, a little bit of a closer match there. Maybe he'll switch it up after this with Ness, but I mean, it might be too much for him either way. But we'll see if he tries to change up the strategy. I
feel like overall, I mean, we didn't see a bad second showing in that second meeting between those two. Like D-Coat. Like sometimes, I think the thing I like the most about Smash is like, in the BO5 and in fighting games in general, like it's like this in all games, but fighting games, it's like way more emphasized. Adaptions must be made to how your opponent is playing, right? Like if he likes to grab, you need to obviously keep distance. If he's using one ability kind of as like his go-to, then we need to figure out what we're going to do to adapt and overcome, right? So with me, Brawler, it's interesting. Because this is a character that obviously has a lot of mobility. Yeetnator very comfortable on it. And I mean, kind of sticks to you like glue. When Yeetnator is kind of lighting up those combos, Ness is having a hard time getting out of the punching path. So we'll have to see what D-Coat has in store for us. But overall, a much better look in the second match of this one.
And with those adaptations you were talking about, you have to make them quick, but also at the same time, sometimes it's just that feel of like it's just like muscle memory and you get a feel for what your opponent's doing rather than kind of just like thinking about it in your head. But definitely got to make those adjustments in any way you can. And a character change can definitely do that for you, but it's not always the best option, especially if you're confident with one character.
Yeah, we're getting right back into it. Yeetnator sticking with the Mii Brawler. Ness still coming out for D-Coat.
Yep, for sure. And this is on match point for Yeetnator, trying to complete that undefeated season as we've been mentioning.
Smashville, okay.
On Smashville here. Got an interesting background. I'm liking it. We got kind of cars driving around, but We got to focus on the match here. Yeetinator taking an early lead like we've seen before.
Decode up high on percentage already. Solid work coming through for Yeetinator. And I mean, if Yeetinator gets this first stock, you are feeling nothing but comfortable.
Yeah,
Decode
sure.
trying to do a good job here.
And as you talked about at the beginning.
Oh, the cannonball.
A squishier. Yeah, that cannonball. Another one. Wow. And that's a great cannonball coming through from Yeetinator. Takes out Decode. Goes up a stock in this third map.
Yeah. Decode down one stock. 88 percentage for Yeetinator. And already starting to mount this pressure onto Decode up to 50% as it stands here. Nice toss coming through for the Ness. Yeetinator will recover back to stage nicely. And I mean, this is just free damage that Yeetinator's finding right now, right? You're already at 103% on your first stock. Oh, Decode goes for a punish. Will get the recovery. Back to stage. The throw won't quite finish him off.
You're up a life. It's kind of just a cherry on top with all this damage like you talked about, to where even if you do lose a life, you've still got that damage for the second one, to where it's kind of just like when you're 2-2, even if you do fall to 2-2 and even up the life, you're still up on that percentage.
You're right. And Decode basically already dead, right? Like, I mean, he's not dead yet, but okay, he might be dead now. Okay, there he. Oh my goodness! I said you're not dead yet, but you basically are dead. You just got punched off the map, man. Oh no! All right, I meant Decode, not Yeetinator on that one, but you know what I mean.
Drastic measures coming through from Decode.
Yeah, but it's like a full stock ahead right now.
Yeah, it's a tough position for sure.
Decode's gonna have to play almost perfectly. And it doesn't seem like it's taken place. I mean, Decode doing their best, but right now, Yeetinator in a prime position to take this one.
Yeah, and the percentage pretty even right now, but as we saw earlier, up a stock in this match, just Yeetinator putting themselves in an advantage position to even you don't, like Yeetinator, he's got that margin of error so far in this match to where really you can just take damage, maybe make a few mistakes and still be in a good spot to take this one. And as we see it right there, Yeetinator's going to take that match 3-0, move on to 8-0 on this regular season, going into the state tournament.
Heck yeah.
Going to be confident.
Yeah, I mean, Yeetinator completing that run, putting himself up to a flawless season, right? Flawless record on the regular season. 8-0, surely going to be one of the top seeds when it comes down to it, getting ready for the North Dakota State Tournament. And I mean, that'll be taking place closer to the end of March. If I had to take a gamble, I would say it's the weekend of the 28th, 29th, and 30th.
You would be correct.
Sweet.
Yep, we got it.
Let's go,
yeah,
dude.
I mean, got a little bit of time to prepare for that, to where even perfecting your craft even more. I mean, obviously, it can't get a lot more perfect than 8-0, but obviously you can put work in to prepare for that and really solidify yourself at the top, because obviously there's going to be more competitors there. He hasn't played everybody, so we'll see how he can go. But then on the side of Decode as well, preparing for that tournament, for sure, a 5-3 record. It's not 8-0, but it's definitely a strong record. And of course, everyone, once he gets to the tournament, everyone's got a chance.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in. That will conclude our final regular season day of Monday action for both Minecraft and Smash for North Dakota. Happy to be able to hop back on with you, Chef. Excited to see kind of what's going to take place as we get ready for our state tournament coming closer to the end of the month. I believe that's taking place at the University of North Dakota, right? If I had to gamble. Okay, look at that. Gambling, and we're gambling right now. This is great. This feels great. I'm not used to this. Anyways, as always, honored to hop on the call with you. I believe that concludes our Monday stream. So as always, folks, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube if you have not. A shout out to all of our sponsors real quick before we go. That being Broadband Association of North Dakota, SDN Communications, University of North Dakota. I think we got Eastern Wyoming College on there. And then Midco and Verbero. A massive shout out to all of our wonderful sponsors for making this into a reality, right? Giving us a space to play, giving all of our wonderful players a platform and area to train and become young esports legends themselves. As always, I've been your host, Skeptor. Chef, any final words before we close this show out, brother?
It was a great time with you. Hopefully, audience had a great time as well, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sounds good. Peace.